it's finally cold in California. It's cold. It's raining. It's been raining. So today's video is just on time to make a scarf. It's a 30-minute DIY arm knitted scarf. Now I say 30 minutes because it took me less than 30 minutes, but you might want to just free yourself for the next hour just in case it doesn't go as planned, because your hands, your arms are literally gonna be tight. I mean, you can still get to things. So yeah, we'll hope you enjoy, and I hope to see all of you guys with scarf. Yeah, I'm gonna jump right in, so be ready. You're gonna need 2 balls of yarn, the same color. I use numbers super bulky, and then I'll go ahead and explain more about what the numbers mean. Let me figure. But yeah, hope you enjoy, and like and subscribe because you're gonna miss out. Okay, so what I mean by number 6, super bulky, each yarn, ball of yarn, has a number that lets you know the thickness of the yarn. So as you can see, this is a number 6, which is super bulky. This one here is number 4, and it's medium. So today the one that I'm going to be using is 6, super bulky. Okay, so we're going to be needing 2 balls of yarn, the same color. We're going to treat this as one strand. Okay, so now make sure to keep your balls of yarn, the yarn organized. Don't get it all tangled. You want to go ahead and pull the strand that's on the outside of the ball. Don't pull it from the middle, because usually in the middle you're going to get stuck with a knot. And it's going to ruin your work if you're in the middle of the work. Okay, so we're putting the 2 ends together, and we're going to need a tail for maybe about, I think the tail is actually pretty much exaggerated. It ends up being wasted yarn. So I did mine, I think 3 feet, and it was plenty. So to get started, you're going to need a slip knot. Now a slip knot, you can easily get out of it if you mess up. It's okay. It's okay. Alrighty, so just kind of watch what I do. This is kind of hard to explain, but I'm going to try my best. So when you do the knot, this end of yarn is going to be considered your tail, and then this end is going to be your working yarn, what's coming out of the ball of yarn. Okay, so for the slip knot, we're going to create this little loop. Just put your index finger in between them to just hold it to create the loop. Then this loop, we're going to turn it around to create this overlap. You're going to lay your loop on your left hand, and that yarn that you're holding between your index and your thumb, you're going to grab that one through the loop and pull. And that's it. That's your slip knot. So one more time. See, it's really easy to get out of it. If your slip knot doesn't do that, then you did something wrong. So we're going to do it one more time, okay? So there's your loop. Holding it to create the loop. Turn the loop. Lay the loop. And then that piece of yarn right there that you're holding with your index and your thumb, you're going to grab it through the loop and pull. And that's it. You're going to have your tail. This is your tail. And then this other strand is your working yarn. So your tail, you're going to wrap it around your thumb. And your working yarn, you're going to wrap it around your index finger. Then you're going to grab those 2 just right there in the middle with your ring finger and pinky finger. Just like that. So you're kind of doing an L shape. One more time. So wrap your tail around your thumb and the working yarn around your index finger. Okay. Now we're going to go with your right hand. You're going to go under that strand, over this one, and through. Pull, and just wiggle your wrist around to kind of tighten it up. And there you go. That's your second stitch. You're going to repeat it. Tail, working yarn, under, over, under and through and let it go. And tighten it up. And now you're gonna need 8 stitches. I did mine with 8 stitches. So we have 5 more to go. Again. You don't want it too tight because then you won't be able to adjust, or later when it's time to transfer them from your right to your left, you're gonna get stuck. So try not to make them too tight, just a little snug enough, because you don't want it super loose either, because then the stitches are gonna be too big. So now I have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have the 8 stitches casted on. You just casted on your 8 stitches. Now we're going to create another row by transferring them from your right arm to your left arm. So you have your tail here still. That you're going to just put aside because you're not going to be needing it. And then the working yarn, which is still connected to the balls of yarn, that you're gonna hold with your right hand. Just gonna hold it there, like this. And this first stitch, you're gonna pull it over your arm and let it go. Don't let go of the working yarn. Okay, so this is your working yarn. This, you're gonna grab it, and then you're gonna just turn it to your left. And then this working yarn, you're just gonna pull it to kind of make it a little snug. So again, that's 1 stitch over. Now again, you're gonna hold your working yarn, and this stitch, you're just gonna pull it off your arm. This yarn has another loop. You're gonna turn it towards your left, and then just pull to adjust and tighten. There you go. And again, just go, turn. And you're going to continue until you have no more stitches left on your right arm. And see, this was a little this was too tight for my wrist, so just kind of wiggle it, and there you go. That's your last stitch. So now you're going to adjust, and there is your first row. Now, just like we did to bring them over to our left hand, now we're going to do the same thing to bring it over to our right arm. So now, instead of holding the working yarn with your right arm, you're going to hold it with your left hand. So always hold it with the arm that you have the stitches on. So this stitch, pull it, let it go, and then this one, you're just going to turn it to your right arm, and then pull to just tighten. Not too tight, just make it a little snug. And then again, hold with your left hand, pull, drop, turn. There you go. And now you're just going to keep doing this until, as long as you want it. I did it long enough to make it wrap around my neck only once, but you can make it wrap around your neck 2-3 times, depending how chunky, how long you want your scarf. So yeah, I haven't had that much time to knit like I used to, especially now with a kid. But I was going over on Pinterest and I came across this arm knitting. I was like, I have to try it. So I tried it, and then I found it super easy. I'm like, anybody can do this. It's not complicated at all. I have to share it. It's super easy. I really hope that you guys get the hang of it, because it's really easy. It's very repetitive, I know. And once, like I said, once you get the hang of it, the first 2 rows are probably going to be a little like, what, am I doing that right? And then after that is just kind of like easy breezy. This will be my last row. Okay, so I have all the rows that I wanted. This is 13 rows. Okay. And to bind off, you're gonna hold it with the hand that you have. With the hand that you have the stitches on. So right now it's on my right hand, on my right arm. We're gonna hold it with my right hand, and we're just gonna do 2 stitches like we have been doing. So 1, 2. Now instead of going on to the 3rd one, I'm gonna let go of my working yarn. I have 2 stitches on my left arm. The first stitch is going to go over the second stitch and out of my arm and let it go. And then you're just going to pull to tighten up that stitch. Now you're going to go back to do another stitch from your right to your left. So I'm going to hold it with my working yarn with my right hand, make another stitch, let go of my working yarn, and this first stitch, go over the second stitch and let it go. And pull to tighten. And then just do it again. Okay, so we're down to our last stitch on my right arm. We're just gonna go ahead and stitch it over to my left, and then again the first stitch over your second and out. Now you're left with only 1 stitch on your left arm. You're gonna need another tail on this end, again maybe like 3 feet, and then cut without letting go of the yarn, because then your work is gonna be ruined. Okay, so I've already gone ahead and cut it. Tighten that up, and this tail right here that you just cut off, you're gonna put it in through your last stitch and just bring it in and tighten it. This tail again, just for security purposes, so it doesn't get undone. You're gonna grab it and through that loop that you just created, and then pull it all the way through and just tighten that up. And there you go. Now, if you notice, the scarf kind of curls on, well, it looks different on both sides. This right here is considered the right side, which is the front of your work. The other side, where you can actually see the stitch like this is considered the wrong side, which is the back side of your work. You're going to lay it flat with your right side facing you, facing up. Okay? Then you're going to fold it in half. So you should have 1 tail on one end and 1 tail on another end. And try to align them with the stitches. So like here's 1 stitch, and align it with this stitch. So try to kind of wiggle it around until you find the stitch. And we're gonna weave in the ends. So here's my first stitch, and kind of align it from one side and the other side, and then you just go in through there. You can use a crochet hook, you can use just your hands. I usually just use my hands just because of the size of the work. I don't need a crochet hook, but usually if it's if I use needles, then yeah, my fingers won't do the trick. I'll need an actual hook or a needle to weave in the ends. So kind of wiggle in there. And then just one last one, and it comes through. And here you can decide to, now see, those 3 feet were plenty, so you'll be fine. Now I have my 2 tails, so back the same way. Now once you're done weaving, you can go ahead and turn your work back around so the right side is now out. Okay, now it's facing you, and that's it. Now you have the option to not bind the end, not weave in the ends together. You can go ahead and just bind each tail on the end that it's on, and then that way it'll be just a scarf, and you can make it as long as you want. Here I decided to make it an infinity scarf, and that's why I connected the ends of each side, but you don't have to do it like that. You can go ahead and make it however your little heart desires, the color you want, the length that you want. You can add more stitches if you like, and it'll be more wide, but I think it stretches plenty, so it looks really pretty. And that's it. There you go. There you go. Thank you so much for watching, and you know what? You'll have plenty of yarn to make more. David and I haven't gone Christmas shopping, so maybe some of you will receive scarves. Okay, so there you go. That's it. Thank you so much for watching, and stay warm. Thanks. Bye-bye. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I know it might be a little confusing, like